If you want to have your query letter critiqued but you do not want to pay for it, you can get it done for free. The caveat is it will be out here on my TikTok channel publicly. My name is Sheena. I'm an author, editor, publishing professional. I help you make your writing better. Information on how to submit is in my bio if you are interested. And please remember, this is a real live person who has submitted this, so we are trying to be constructive, not destructive. This is never meant to mock anybody. We are all learning. We are all on a journey, but sometimes constructive criticism can be hard to hear. I do try to keep that in mind and be sympathetic to that. We're going to proceed accordingly. All right, Beneath the Trees, complete under 98,000 words, is a contemporary fantasy, great for fans of Vicious, Magicians, and the TV show Supernatural. Okay, so that title, it's not a bad title. It also does not sound particularly like a fantasy title. 98,000 words, great word count. That is excellent. That is in a perfect spot. I don't know if this is an adult fantasy, though. We have not listed whether this is young adult or adult, so we're going to assume that it is adult. Vicious is definitely an adult novel. TV show Supernatural, we can say, like, for fans of, because we have listed a couple of titles here, book titles, we can go ahead and list a TV show. That's okay. This is part of our pitch. Vicious is old. This is also the second query letter I've opened up today that comped to Vicious. This is old. It is a mega bestseller. I would try to find something more recent than this. And I believe Magicians is also pretty old too. It might not be as old as Vicious. Usually when we are looking at comp titles, we're looking at something that is in the last 2 to 3 years, that is in the same category, in the same genre that you are writing, and that it is a well-selling book, but it is not by a household name. It is not by somebody who has been writing for just a super, super long time, and their books are guaranteed to sell no matter what. These comps are both really big, really old. They are the right genre. That's a good thing. We're going to take that as a win. All right, so, and I try not to read these all like verbatim because you all have eyeballs you can read, so that's not what I try not to read them. Sorry if that is frustrating to people. All right, so Max Price, man tormented by nightmares and monsters that only he can see, wants a normal life. When his girlfriend breaks up with him, he feels alone, seeking distraction. He agrees to accompany his best friend on a vlogging excursion to save a dying YouTube channel. Love the sound of that. As they explore an abandoned house, they encounter an entity that plunges Max back into the world of the paranormal he has tried desperately to escape. Okay, that's a cool hook. I like that. I don't have a lot to say on that yet. That's a really good hook. We have a tiny little bit of backstory, but I do think that it helps to, like, I think we're on an okay track. We're going to keep going. All right, meanwhile, Kit only wants 2 things in life. Oh, okay, so if we have, like, he only wants 1 thing in life, she only wants 2 things in life, I would change up the phrasing on that. I would change up the wording on that and do it a little bit differently so it doesn't sound so repetitive. Wants to quit. Oh, sorry, I misgendered Kit. I thought that was going to be a girl's name. I apologize here. So Kit wants to quit his boring day job, become a content creator full-time, and find definitive proof of the supernatural. So I would set that up in a different way because you have, again, like, this one only wants this 1 thing, this one only wants these 2 things. Phrase that slightly differently, but we're okay. Like, these are small fixes. These are small tweaks right now. All right, despite Max's pleas for Kit to leave well enough alone, the prospect of growing the channel is too tempting. Max's nightmares worsen as he delves deeper into this other realm. Magical daggers, strange portals, grip on reality. All right, this all sounds cool so far. Already feeling okay, so we're going to be at 4 paragraphs. This is a little on the long side for a query letter because you still need to spend time introducing who you are as the author at the bottom. We need to maybe condense some of this. Maybe not. We'll wait and see, but 4 paragraphs is fairly long. Struggles to confide in Kit. The self-imposed isolation ends when the shadow entities he's seeing make physical contact. They promise him a new, better life, free of horrific nightmares and pain. All he has to do is become a host. He's initially wary. Oh, this all now sounds like maybe we did a lot of backstory. Maybe we did too much setup, too much backstory. Max can take so much. Kit fails to find a way to get... Oh, so the YouTube thing is kind of a side story. That's not actually, like, really part of this. That's all backstory. Shoot. This sounds like we are relying on backstory as a hook, and we are not relying on character and story as much. So that is because now I'm looking at this bottom paragraph and I'm like, what is this? Where did we save the YouTube channel? Did that matter? So we have introduced some elements that don't need to be in the query. We need to focus on Max. We need to focus on what it is that he is doing. This is so much more than like vlogging content. This is like demon possession, all kinds of stuff. Like, we got different stuff going on than what I thought. So the beginning paragraphs, while they sounded cool, and the back half of this here also sounds really cool, they were misleading. You made us think that we were going to have a type of conflict that we don't actually address and we are not actually going to get to. All right, so Max can only take so much. Kit fails to find a way to get rid of the shadow entities and stop the nightmares. Max takes matters into his own hands. So it sounds like Kit is sort of a Kit's not actually that important to the overall story. Like, this is really about Max. Like, Max does a thing, Max makes a bad decision by allowing them to like infiltrate his body here, and then he has to be the one to get rid of them. So this is a story about Max. I don't know that we need Kit in this query letter. That can help with our length problem here, and that can also help us focus on what is actually at stake. All right, so I'm going to say this a lot during this series, but we have 5 questions that we need to answer in a query letter. So who is our main character? That is Max. What is it that he wants? He wants to not be heartbroken and alone anymore. So he makes a terrible decision and he allows demons to possess him, and he decides to try to enter a different monster demon realm in order to not be lonely in this realm anymore. That is also what he is willing to do to get it. What is he willing to do to overcome his heartbreak and his loneliness? Something drastic. This is serious. What is standing in his way? They are monsters. This is terrible. You should not trust monsters who have been infiltrating your nightmares. He has a friend who is trying to stop him from doing this. So the Kit is not actually like an antagonist, but he is a barrier to Max's plan here. What happens if he fails? Loneliness, not fulfilling his destiny. Actually, we're not totally sure if the destiny, like, he comes to believe that entering this demon realm or this monster realm is fulfilling his destiny. So we've got a little bit of a snag here. That's a cool conflict. I actually think, like, once you strip Kit out of this, you still have a really, really cool concept here. So we've got a man who's trying to escape heartbreak. He goes on this adventure with a friend, accidentally like plunges himself too far into the monster nightmare territory that he's been like plagued by for a long time, and now like delusionally thinks that he needs to go become like king ruler of the demon realm in order to escape heartbreak. This is a really cool concept. Let's cut the YouTube stuff out of here. Focus on Max, focus on this conflict, shorten it up, tighten it up, especially since your word count is really good. Like 98,000 words is good. This is going to move at a really good clip. Let's make that query letter reflect that really crisp storytelling, that really crisp world building that you probably have in the story. It also sounds that when you are looking at those comp titles that you do have the right vibe. You understand your market, you understand what you have written. We just need to find something that is a little bit more recent that can speak to that same vibe. Now, Victoria Schwab is great and is a master, and Lev Grossman is a great and a master. So you're going to be able to find other people who are doing this, who are not as bestsellers and who have not been doing it for quite as long. Go talk to a librarian, find some comps that are a little bit more recent that match your vibe as well, but you've got the right vibe. You've got a really good storyline here. I think we need to condense it a little bit. We need to remove the things that feel like it's trying to pitch something different than what you are actually pitching, and let's focus it up a little bit. But this one's really close.